reviewing some custom features to create interesting effects. Now I made a simple box here, made it some colors to illustrate a feature, and I'm going to pull out a few copies. Okay, remember you can always pull out copies by clicking and dragging in the direction of the arrow to get different copies. So I just made 3 copies. And if you notice when I try to walk through this, this is rather permanent. I can't get through it. But there is a feature that if I go into the edit mode, if I come over to the object tab, I can turn it into a phantom. And that means that when I click away, and now I can walk through this. Okay, you can do that to entire buildings. You can do it to doorways, and sometimes you just want to get quick access. So that's one feature I wanted to show you. Another feature is to go back into the edit mode, and let's just take this one and go over to features, and let's make this a flexible path. You can do this if you want to make something like a flag. Okay, I'll pull it up, and let me darken this so you can see it better. Let's go to the flexible path, and this takes a little practicing because it depends on how you set up where you want the pathway to begin. But let's make this a little bit softer, and let's give it some more gravity, so that when I click away from this and set this up and move it, let me move it to show this effect. You see, it now flops over because it's affected by the gravity. And if I practice with this and put something like this up on a pole, I can make a flag. And as you see, I have a lot of different ways I can play with the amount of friction this involves, and I always kind of have to do it to figure out what these things mean, but it will affect the way your flag or whatever the object is that you want to wave and be flexible is working. Now let's just move this out of the way and go to my last object, and I'm going to show you something here. Let me turn this around. I'm pressing Control on the keyboard to get this wheel, and I'm going to make it a little bit square. And now I'm going to go over to the feature known as light. Okay, here it is. And if I click the light to turn it on, you may have noticed it started to glow a bit, but you really need to do something like go into World, come down to More, and let's change the environment setting to Midnight. Now, while that settles in, you'll see that I can now play with the intensity. I can lower it or increase it. And I can determine whether it's going to be a rather tight lighting or whether I want it to be spread out. So I can go around and adjust these different intensities, and I can even change the color of the light. I'll leave it as white because it shows up best. But I will click away, and you can see that now during the nighttime I've created this light. And this can be very helpful if you want to make lights around buildings that you're going to show at night, and it even does show up a little bit during the day and with the different settings. Let's see what it looks like if I look at a more sunset setting. Okay, and so as the colors change, I still do have a light effect, but I can modify it so that it shines on buildings and has different effects during the day. So if you play with these different features, you're going to find that you can repurpose existing buildings or create signs, flags, lights that can be shown on your island at different times of the day and night.